Hello and welcome. Right, I am going to go. I wasn't going to show this, and I thought, yeah, I will, but I'm going to time lapse it. I didn't want you to think I was literally, because it is so easy for me to just think, oh, I can't be bothered. Let's just reset it up to the top. But that doesn't really help people sort of see this bit move. The other thing is, I was going to say, I can't remember if you can. I don't think you can. I think it covers the holes that this actually needs to grab. I think so, but we'll have a look at the back. If it is, then that would mean that you only need the one, and that would be quite a serious. But I have a feeling that the holes are on the other side where the header is, in which case you can't do this. Yeah, it is. Thought it was. Just checking. I didn't want to be talking out of turn. I thought it was. They're literally on that side. So. They? Let's have a look, shall we? Because it's definitely got two holes for this to go into. Can you actually see them? You used to be able to. You could sort of quite clearly, let's just move forwards and drop that off. Does it cover the holes when this is on? That's what my point is. See, that's going to go where the pipe is, so it's got to be the back. In which case, that would mean you'd have to. Not have to, but if you could grab your head too. Now that actually, I would then completely change my opinion, because you would only need one lorry, which isn't too bad at all. Yeah, whereas if it's not, it is a bit of a faff to have two lorries, or like one lorry and one tractor on a flatbed. Yeah, that would be somewhat. I would have thought it was that set, or does it open if you? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Another button's price is extend on. If we were in the right place, it would actually work. I had thought our wheel configuration for this was correct. I would have thought so. And I would have thought. Is it the other configuration? Is that why you can't see the holes? In which case we'd have to it's gonna. Yeah, if you do the twiddly thing now, you'd have to select on that. I think that's right. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah. This is what I said about, but this is down to the user not knowing it is. See anything on that side, but the arm is actually in the way, like that. So to me, I'm sure when I looked at this last time, you could actually see the holes for this. You definitely can't see the holes anymore. I'm sure there were two holes. You could clearly see, because I remember seeing them. But the arm's in the way. If it was this side. And yet they look like them there. Don't have them on this side. Okay, well, let's see. As if it doesn't get them. I mean, it's not exactly level. Anyway, I'm going to time lapse this. Whatever happens, you'll be able to see whether I get it right or whether I get it wrong or anything like that. So let's, personally, I can't see any holes this away, so two little grey markers. Let's try it. Anyway, yes, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, that is that done. Yeah, I'm trying to be sort of like positive about it. It's not all. I've got to be honest, for a medium-sized farm, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, the fact you've got to have 2 lorries or a lorry and a tractor with a dolly, you know, either or, is a bit of a palaver, really. Got to be totally truthful, but I'm not going to grudgingly admit it as well. No, I am going to sort of say this. It is, I think for a monstrous farm you would still need multiples, which then that becomes a logistical nightmare because you've either got to double up and use the same. I mean, I don't think you'd want 4 lorries really and 4 sets of like equipment because that's quite large. I mean, don't get me wrong, logistics, there are nightmare scenarios, but your cost base for having to own, total cost of ownership, I'd say, for that type of beast, if you needed multiples, would, I think, outstrip its usefulness. But for a large-ish farm, you know, like sort of alls where you've got these 2 large fields, you're just on the border of not needing a second harvester if you're using things like the Jorus and the big 20-metre corn headers. So at that point, it does away with the need for a second harvester. Yes, it is very faffy. I mean, it is. I've got to be honest, I wouldn't personally fancy going down any major. I mean, you've got to do this in a backwater. I mean, we were lucky we weren't the back roads. There was not much. There was no traffic on the roads. You'd need a police escort, or yeah, you'd have to have an escort vehicle at the very least to make this work. So again, logistics, it's a bit of a nightmare. I mean, then again, I've also got to sort of say, well, would it be much better with a standard harvester? If we're talking a big farm where you're using big equipment, even they're not fantastic, although they're a little easier to... I don't know. That's, I've got to be honest, the form factor of this is so much that it is actually quite awkward. It's very long, so therefore, and its steering mechanism is small. It's not. It's also very slow to stop. It rolls a lot. Yes, and yeah, it's a powerful beast. So I'm not sure that the gear ratio is quite right with it, but it's. Yeah, I mean, it is. It just, you've got like to get rid of the other module. Then this becomes a tractor, and then there's the turning thing, which you'd get used to. I mean, I was totally looking at this. I was thinking, hang on a minute, is it? Don't I need to? I was thinking, can I keep the middle thing on? No, you can't. So you've got to separate it. So that means you do. And also, I think carrying this is a bit of a beast. It sticks out an awful long way. It does. So. Yeah, that is a bit of a nightmare to grab. And then you can show your header, but you have it, always got your header. But then this can't take its own header, it needs a lorry to do that. So there's a lot of weighing up. Me personally, and this is, I'm not trying in any way, shape and form, having tried this, I am glad I've tried it. But immediately after this Let's Play, I'm taking it out. Even though it's got lots. I mean, I've got to also think for... If you're a rich farmer and you want to do everything with a vehicle, this will do it all. Yeah, you can literally... I think they're classed as narrows as well, I think. Which I suppose when you consider how big it is, they're not that wide, really, because you've got to think that is a big vehicle. So maybe they are narrows. Maybe... I don't think it doesn't tell you if you look at it, does it? So, no, it doesn't. Some of them it tells you something, but... Yeah, it doesn't say that they're narrows, doesn't say that it's not, but it's always on about compaction and all the rest of it, so I would say it's got to be sort of the nice narrow, I would say, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm glad I've tried it. It's not for me, but I've got to be honest, it's a beautiful bit of kit. The fact that it can't work out the big header, am I surprised? Not really, no. It didn't do a bad job, it tried. So I'm not trying to be totally negative. The one thing I'm going to say, though, it's a thing of beauty craftsmanship. It has been done very nice. It is a beautiful bit of kit. It's just the form factor for me is totally... No, it's not. No, but as I said, I'm not. There's too much. Yeah, like it's awkward. Like going through like tight places. More so than a normal harvester. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to be balanced about this and compare it to the standard, what you would be doing normally on a normal sort of let's play with normal equipment. But you've also got to offset that with if you. I mean, I've got to be honest. The modules are all about 75 grand, which I find that's also expensive. If what I'm trying to say is, if this is the one-stop shop, it's a single point of failure at that point, which that's never a good idea. But some of its equipment is quite. If we just have a look at the different modules, I've got all of the modules. It has now, I believe, it's got a cultivator. I'm sure it has. I'm sure this was the last module that was installed on this. I'm sure it should probably be really at the end. Yeah, there we go. I thought I wasn't imagining it. So it's a 13 metre. It's big, but not particularly. Now that is 56,500. I do apologise. That module's cheaper than the others. Again, that's they only just come in. So when you consider for a 13 metre, not terrible really. It's also got a sprayer, and what I mean is it is a one-stop shop. It can sort of do a lot of things, which if you think of one tractor, but then that's both its strength and its weakness. You really can't forget that fact, is the fact that having one vehicle means I would have to wait for every job to be done by that vehicle in its own time, because it's already going to be doing the previous job. So you've got the beautiful planter, again 13 metres, so quite reasonable, 73,500. Does fertilise as well though, you've got to sort of bear that in mind. 16,000 litre limit, it's not going to run out of seeds anytime soon. So when you compare this to some of the other big ones, I'm saying it's expensive. It's not when you compare it to some of the others. It's pretty good value at that point. And seeders too. Imagine that also is at the end-ish. Yes, it is. Again, a 13 metres, it looks like the same module. Now, that would have been a nice one if you could have actually done the seeder stroke planter with adjustable modules. I think they've missed a trick there, but yeah, Dogface, who does some cracking mods, really. Maybe missed a special trick, but then perhaps, yeah, I'm not having to go in and not trying to get into people's heads. That's, I mean, to me it looks almost identical to the planter, but it maybe isn't. But the modules could have been switched out like other modders have done. So perhaps they've missed a trick, but that's not really for me to say. Well, I can have an opinion, I suppose. Yeah, 40 metre. Now that's quite impressive when you consider that anything else that's 40 metres, the only thing that I know of that's 40 metres is the Trailed IX track, which is 66.5, but it's a 75.5, but it fits onto your tractor that you've already owned, you've paid a lot of money for. So I mean, the other thing is storage of these modules. It's yeah, you've got to think logistically. That would be a bit of a nightmare. I'd like to see the farmer who's actually got all of these. I'm not sure about slow tank. I think there is, but I can't remember. Yeah, again a 13 metre, which is, yeah, no, I thought this was poor. I thought this was Mr. Trick here, because it's not I mean, well, I suppose it is cheap if you're going to compare it to something like this, but I thought if you think of the arms that could have gone around either side, but this was perhaps the poorest of all things that could have been done differently, because it could have actually had arms that stretched out, and that it's just using the traditional, like the drag hoses. So yeah, it's a shame. If it had done boom arms that go out, I've got to be honest, it could have wiped the floor with all competition. So a little bit conservative on that, if I'm being totally truthful. I think they missed a trick. And likewise, storage tank is a bit, that's, if you're going to compare this, right, we go head to head with the big names, Yeah, it's not quite there. Not really. Yeah, I think it could have wiped the floor with them had it have had arms or an adjustable system where you could have stuck the bigger ones onto it. Which, can it do that? No, almost. It's sort of got pipes that lead from that to the middle area where you could have stuck something had you have done that particular thing. But again, I'm not having a go. I'm just having insight into something, trying to. No, so what's this? Yeah, I missed something. Cedar planter. The cultivator's the latest thing that dropped. Sort of, got a built-in trailer with its thing, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's it. I'm not sure. I don't think it's got a plough. I'm sure it hadn't. I might be wrong. Frequently out. No, so it'd be at the end. No, so it's not gone into the plough. That doesn't mean to say that Dogface hasn't got that in the. I don't think it's got a mulch either yet. Doesn't mean to say it won't. No, I didn't think I'd missed it, but this is me, so it's possible I have. Let's have a look at that. Mind you, I usually go for the built-in one, like Ridiculous Dominic. So there we go. Our cornfield is done, but how much did we actually get? That's what. So we had 6 tons odd in the little one. Obviously, I think we'll have taken the hits because we didn't get around to doing 83 tons. It's enough to get us. Obviously, we know we're trying to do the corn because this is sort of FS25 is around the corner. So I'm trying to tie up all of my Let's Plays into, like a. But I did promise. Chad did tell me about the crack corn being a cracker, so I wanted to sort of highlight that as we go out. So next session we're going to be having a go at that. So whereabouts? I think, if I remember rightly, it is over here. It's over here. We own it, I know that much, but I'm just trying to. I think it's that one. Let's have a look. It should tell us now, shouldn't it really? It should sort of be ours. So, the bakery, we know that's somewhere else, but it's Central Grain Elevator. I thought it was right. So, we're going to head off that way now as I'm saying my goodbyes. Next session, we shall start over that way, and we're going to have a good solid look, even if the next few sessions are featuring that and that centering around the map and the things that the map has to offer that we haven't highlighted so far, which was mainly this. There's got a lot you could really centre this around. Beautiful mill. Yeah, you could centre your entire Let's Play around this one thing, and it looks to me like you could make quite a cash from it. That's what Chad said, and he is right. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've not done exactly that, have we really? I mean, yeah, I'm sure this is either going to be the case of a monstrous wheel loader, or I might get away with a Schaefer, which is sort of a wheel loader in telehandler form. It's a strange wheel loader, you could say. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's my favourite telehandler. But I'm just now then, this may. Yeah, sometimes you can get away with this by sort of going heavily to the right. You might get away with it, but angling a little. Might have to sort of sneak around. That's got a hidden collision because I'm not actually hitting that. Yeah, see if we can pull a little further right. It's going to be, not sure. I think we'll go a bit further right, so still a little bit more. We knew it'd be tight. That's certainly say that right. So if this, I think the arm's going to go too far. Now there might be another way to do this. I can see it myself. No, it's not that. It is. Okay, I thought it was. Okay. Let's just play that as 7. I don't think this is going to work boards. I'll be wrong. I think we might be able to do it from the outside, is what I was about to say. Yeah, so that's not going to work. But it will work if we do it. We've got to go the same way out. I think if we do this the opposite way from the outside and pull quite tightly, and if we do actually refold that back in so it's flat, we spin around. I think we'll actually do that. I might be wrong. It is a beautiful bit of kit, this, and obviously used correctly, it really is a cracker. So pull tight against that. Watch the hole and then go. I think if we press the right button, I think we'll actually just about manage that. Smashing, so we're going to get cracking with that. That's the last time I did it. I just wanted to sort of show that, yeah, where there's a will there's a way, as that old saying goes, and tis definitely very true. So that's you've got to bring the 70 tonner with that little tiny bit as well, so I will do that off camera. So all that remains to be said is, yeah, we are winding up, and I think if I had had a bit longer I would have run another year with this. The other thing is I'd like to, I've got a Let's Play that's completely different, and it's on Goldcrest Valley, which is an American map that I've never been able to get on with until this last Let's Play. So again, blast from the past, a little bit of Ravenport, but completely different. Yeah, I've done a start that I've never done before, never seen anyone else do it either, but then I don't watch everybody else's content, so that's not a true, yeah, it's not really, you can't say for certain that is the case. Let me just run that across while we're chatting, because we are chatting. I may as well at least do something useful and get some work done too. So we've finally got a beautiful telehandler. Yeah, I think our equipment, I don't think we're far off there. It's nearly another 7 tons, really. So, yeah, had I have had a bit more time, I would have gone a little bit further with this, but I think we did quite well. Yeah, really. But I think this would have blown out the water as almost anything else. But one thing I'm going to say is people don't like you moving, and in a way the bottom set of our fields and everything is sort of holding us back, because Ravenport supports people really coming up this top end if you want big fields. So I mean, I suppose you could sort of get away with it as I've done it, where we've got a split team and the farmyard is still both sides. I suppose people may not, but yeah, it's people really don't like you moving farms. I've made that mistake once and once only, and I won't be doing it again. So yeah, it does upset people. You get attached to the farmyard and then you like shift, and everyone thinks so. Yeah, so I did that on the original, the Old Stream farm, and really realised how important that was to people for that to stay where it actually was. So yeah, it's not something I'm going to do again. Even though sometimes you've got to sort of do some things like that, but because it matches what you're doing. And obviously at that point, I've done that a couple of times with something, I can't remember which one it was I had to, but I really did sort of say, well, it was sort of Sri Lanka. We sort of went across the roads with these starting from scratch, but yeah, we bought the original farm. I think all the buildings disappeared though. We made our own farm. Yeah, so anyway, I'm meandering from one idea to the other. We've got this lot in here. We shall have up at it next session, and we shall get cracking. So yeah, I think if we had have stayed one more year, we probably obviously would. I think with the widespan vehicle system, I probably would have bought 13 and maybe 7. We'd have really, or maybe even the monster that is Field 8, which I probably would blow all of our cash even now. No, it wouldn't actually. It's, yeah, it would leave us with a mill still if we bought that field, and that was 322. But yeah, I think those two there. I used to love this one when it was one massive field, but it was expensive and yet not so when you consider. Yeah, I think Celobuki's done a cracking sort of thing with the field prices. But that is where I would leave the session. Here we're down to 1657. We're right the way through the day, so yeah, we've literally, wow, getting cracking straight away, that is. We've got some cornflour straight away. Yeah, we should be busy baking and doing anything like that and seeing how this actually goes. So I'm going to centre it around this going forwards, and obviously the animals, we're not forgetting that we've got the animals and all the rest of it. So yeah, we should crack on as normal, business as usual. Yeah, obviously this is the last piece of the puzzle that we really want to highlight a lot before we sort of close down the Let's Play in readiness for FS25. And obviously the other Let's Plays that I've actually got on already too, I am sort of trying to dwindle down. I mean, this is naturally, we could have run another year, but I have got a lot of Let's Plays on, and it's only really the fact, if it weren't for the Gold Crest Valley and trying to show that before the end of FS22, I might actually run with Ravenport for the other year, but I really would like to. I think it's got quite a lot for people to see. It is quite unique, so yeah, I'd like to do that, because the other thing is I've never ever been able to crack on with Gold Crest Valley. Always, it's been one of those, I know it's a great map, I just could never click with it, and this time I've clicked with it. It's a completely different start. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let you have a look, and I'm going to let you make your own mind up, really. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.